take away from you is start investing early. Even small amounts invested early make a huge difference 10, 20, 30 years down the road. Let me put it in words that you will understand. Most of us will have a career of about 30 years. 30 years in the financial markets, 30 years as an architect, 30 years as a doctor. A professional career, 30 to 40 years come there. Let's say 30 years out there. Let's say you start off life when you're 25 and you save your first 10 lakhs. आपने 10 लाख सेव कर दिया है. कैसे भी मेहनत करके 10 लाख बचा दिया आपने. Now you're able to double your money every 3 years. All right? Every 3 years you're able to double your money. The index itself goes up 16%. Right? So to double your money, you need to do about 21, 22% a year. It's not that hard. If you double your money every 3 years, in a 30-year career, you will have 10 doubles in your life. 10 times your money, you will have 10 doubles in your life. So suppose you start with 10 lakh rupees, all right? 10 lakh rupees when you're 25. When you're 55, can any young person tell me, if you double your money every 3 years, what will that amount become? Yeah, you're a CA or someone, yeah, you know all that stuff. He's right, okay? He's right, it becomes 100 CR. How does it become 100 CR? Let's do the math. Because it's always fun. I know you know this, but it's still fun, okay? 10 lakhs after 3 years becomes, if you double your money, 20, right? 20 becomes, 40 becomes, 80 becomes, now let's round it off, say becomes 3, that's after 5 years, 15 years becomes 3, right? Now see what happens in the next 15 years. 6, 12, 50, 100. 100. Think about it. If you have 100 crores, that even in today's depreciated rupee, that's about $10-15 million. That puts you in the richest 1% in the world. Forget in India. It'll make you the richest 1% in the world. All right? What have you done? You bought businesses that have doubled every 3 years. All right? Are these opportunities there? I think Madhu put up a chart. I mean, there must be 100 stocks that have done better than that over the last few years. Right? Is it simple? No. Is it easy? No. But making money is not easy. I mean, all of you work 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours a day for a living, right? So making money is not easy. But if you find a great business that can double for you every 3 years, so people ask me that maybe I was lucky when I and Madhuji invested in our career, we had long-term capital gains exemption, right? So you could build a capital tax-free. But the trick of the matter is even you can, because unless you sell your stocks, there's no capital gains. So try and find businesses that last not 3 years, but 6 years, or 18 years, or 24 years. Because as the money grows, as the value of the share grows, the business remains tax-free for all of you. I'll tell you a story which really drove the point home. When my son, who was 12 or 13, we had one of those name ceremonies for him, correct? So we had invited 200 people as proud parents, and his grandparents gave him cash. Someone bought sweets, someone bought toys, someone bought, clothes for the young person. I think as parents, we must have also given him some clothes. One of my friends gave him some shares rather than this thing, all right? He gave him, at that time it was about 25,000 rupees. 500 shares or something he gave him. Almost like it was an afterthought as a present. He played with the toys, wore the clothes, enjoyed the sweets. The shares were put away in the locker. 25,000 rupees. The shares turned out to be HDFC Bank. All right? So today that 500 shares have become 2,500 shares. 2,500 shares times 2,000 rupees. You do the math what it's worth today. This kid is barely 30 and he already has such an amount of wealth because one of our friends was wise enough to give him an appreciating asset and not a depreciating asset. The trick about buying, as Madhuji said, when you buy a stock, is think ek dhanda khareed rahe hain aap. Don't think you're buying a price fluctuation. Say you bought 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank. Think you're a part owner of the bank. Then you will think differently as opposed to say 20 mein leke 25 mein bech diya maine. Because then you're fluctuating on the price. You want to be a trader, that's fine. You want to build wealth, as Bajate says, then you got to buy, invest in a business. I explained to you the power of compounding. If there's one lesson that the younger people should take away from here, is there's magic in compounding. If you understand what compounding is, it can change your life. Trust me when I say that 10 lakhs becomes 100 crores sounds silly to most young people. How does that happen? My father works all his life. He's not got anything amount like that. But that is the mathematics of it. You go run a spreadsheet on it. Take 10 lakhs, compound it at about 22-23%, and see what that money becomes in 30 years. Math doesn't lie. It becomes 100 crores. The trick is finding the businesses that can compound at such a great rate for you.
Whether you do trading or investing, it's a full-time profession. जो बाजार में गलत फहमी है कि मैं जल्दी पैसा बना दूंगा, कोई रुख से बना दूंगा, कोई मुझे टिप दे देगा उससे बना दूंगा, उससे होता नहीं है. उससे आता है, जाता है, प्राय जाता ही है. But if you approach anything with a passion, this is my 24 hours business, I'm going to devote myself to, say in trading, to volumes, studying charts, looking at the technicals, then you'll probably do better. The problem with trading, why it's got a bad name, is because people think it's easy money. Markets never offer easy money. So I think what I would suggest to people, जो आपको अगर time नहीं है, तो focus on investing, because that requires only 1 or 2 decisions every 6 months. If you have the time, focus on trading, but spend time doing it. Don't think you can. अगर अपन हमेशा कहा जाता है कि अपने को अगर कोई सेल फोन खरीदना है तो हम रिसर्च करेंगे उसके बारे में, दुकान में जाएंगे, ऑनलाइन देखेंगे और फिर 25,000 रुपए का एक फोन खरीदेंगे. लेकिन 2.5 लाख के शेयर लेने हैं, कोई दोस्त बोलते हैं हम लोग ले लेते हैं. दैट इज द मिस्टेक. सो आई थिंक वॉट एवर यू डू इट विद द काइंड ऑफ पैशन दैट कपिल जी बॉट टू द गेम.
दमानी जी क्या कहेंगे, आप इन्वेस्ट करना पहले आसान था या अब आसान है, या फिर पहले मुश्किल था अब और मुश्किल है?
भाई सचिन तेंदुलकर, सुनील गावस्कर हमेशा बोलते थे कि हमें नेट में जाके 4 घंटा प्रैक्टिस करता था बिफोर द गेम. इनफैक्ट एवरी डे ऑफ हिज लाइफ ही वुड गो आउट एंड प्रैक्टिस. द सेम थिंग इज विद ट्रेडिंग. इट्स अ ग्रेट प्रोफेशन, यू कैन मेक अ लॉट ऑफ मनी एट इट, बट यू ट्रीट इट एज अ प्रोफेशन, डोंट ट्रीट इट एज अ कैजुअल इवेंट. एंड बिकॉज द इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी का जो पेस है इतना अच्छा है इंडिया में, 7%, 8% ग्रोथ, there are huge opportunities in India across the field. So what Kapil says and what Mr. Gadkari says is very true, that this is a market of opportunity. An investor, Anil ji, आप 10 लाख रुपए से शुरू कीजिए, आप 25 साल के आप 10 लाख रुपए से शुरू कीजिए. If you can double your money every 3 years, which is about 25% compound return, by the time you are 50 years old, maybe after 8 or 9 doubles, you'll be worth 50 crores. 50 crore. हिंदुस्तान में 50 लाख इनकम. लास्ट वीक the finance minister, the honorable finance minister said in parliament, जो 50 लाख रुपया कमाते हैं हर साल का, कुल मिला के पूरे बड़े हिंदुस्तान में जहां 100 करोड़ लोग बैठते हैं, is 150,000 people. 1.5 लाख people earn more than 50 lakh rupees a year.